backs. Let's stay on the offense for now. Wide receivers, a bit of a nice class last year. Nobody went till pick number 20. We're gonna find, is there a superstar? Someone gonna go a bit earlier, or what are we thinking? And who to keep? Who do we need to look for?
Short answer, yes.
Yeah, a bit like Churchill. Oh, yes.
There is an absolute stud. This is like we had Bijan Robinson was an absolute stud running back this year. We've got an absolute stud wide receiver this year, and he's also got a teammate that we'll probably touch upon as well. But it's Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. I think he could walk onto an NFL team today and be the wide receiver one for a significant proportion of the league. He is that good. He's also a big lad. He's 6'4", 205 pounds, but he's plenty quick for that. He's not just one of these big guys, throw them up and catch it and hope for the best type of receivers. He can do everything really that you want a wide receiver to do. He was the best wide receiver for me in college football last year, and I don't see that changing this year either. He's just super productive. He's an elite athlete. He's just got lovely hands. He catches the ball so nice and cleanly. Very competitive. His dad is a Hall of Famer, so he's got that pedigree there as well. Is there much on the weak side? Probably not much I can say about Marvin Harrison. I would be surprised if this guy goes anywhere other than a top 5 pick next year, unless there's loads of teams just go nuts about quarterbacks. Even then, I can't see him dropping very much further. Yeah, I can't see teams passing up on this type of talent.
I think it's probably fairly safe to say that he goes top 3. Because I think you're going to get Caleb Williams go 1, probably. You're going to have Drake May be there or thereabouts. Someone's going to, does he go 2? Probably. It depends on obviously how the draft order shakes out, right? But the Cardinals are expected to have pick 1 and 2. And if the Cardinals do pick a quarterback, then you've got the perfect partner to draft at the same time as in Marvin Harrison. The only guy that could challenge him outside of that is maybe an offensive tackle that we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I won't go into his scouting report because basically whatever you want your receiver to do, he can do it. The scouting report is complete already. Absolutely.
You just need one word for that scouting report. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you don't really need to write very much. It'll be the easiest one.
Yeah, is he going to be a better prospect than Jamar Chase? That's the only question that there maybe is to answer right now. And he doesn't even need to answer it. It's just a debate, isn't it? There's a load of other receivers as well, though. A player that I really like is Malik Neighbors from LSU. He's pretty high on my board. Ran a 4.44 40. Extremely high ceiling, plays really controlled, shows patience as well. It's almost like a running back when he gets the ball in his hands. I really like him. A player, should we turn it into a Florida State podcast? Keon Coleman, who's transferred over from Michigan State, looks like he'll be the number 1 wide receiver in that room. Has a chance to really kick on after some poor quarterback play, but still really, did really well for Michigan State. And there's another one, Johnny Wilson, who's 6'7", 235 pounds. I mean, you know what you're going to get at that size, just huge catch radius. He's not going to be one of the top ones drafted, but if you want to watch Florida State, you're certainly not going to miss him.
Yeah, I mean, he's listed as running a 4.42 as well at that size, which is just daft, isn't it? How are you going to cover that if you're a 5'10" cornerback who's running at that speed as well? It's going to be pretty difficult. The other couple of guys is obviously Marvin Harrison's teammate at Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka, if that's how you say it correctly. He's a guy, another one off this seems to be never-ending list of Ohio State wide receivers. And again, for most college teams, he would be the top wide receiver prospect in the country for that team. But he's obviously going to play second fiddle to Marvin Harrison. But again, that should not dampen down his ability as well. He's got enough height, speed, weight, everything you want from a wide receiver. Really aggressive with the ball in his hands. He blocks well. He puts himself about there as well. He's not afraid of doing the dirty work. He's got really good acceleration. He sometimes can get pinned back a little bit when someone is really hard up against him and he needs to be a bit more getting off press and things as well. Contested catches maybe is just where he's not quite as good as you maybe want him to be. But again, that's really nitpicking. He's someone who's a very, very good wide receiver prospect and someone who would be in a first round mix, definitely. Another one, just to round off for me, is Rome Oduns. I don't know, again, the pronunciation. Odunze, to pronounce it, because Checowine's been getting down on the pronunciations, which I'm a little bit behind on. He's a wide receiver prospect from Washington. Again, he's a big guy, 6'3", just over that 200 pounds. Had a good season last year. I think he had over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 70 receptions. So it's pretty good productivity. He does really well in that kind of vertical, deep threat balls. He can run with the ball in his hands as well. He's maybe not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a bigger guy, so you're maybe not going to be using him as that really speedy player. But he's not going to blaze past corners, but he's competitive enough, and I think he's got a nice kind of route tree. I think he's another prospect that could be in the mix for later day 1, early day 2 type of conversations.